Sir, now the fourth one, class cast exception. Observe that, sir. The name itself indicates class casting, class cast exception. Okay, sir. First, it is the child class of class cast exception is the child class of runtime exception, which is the child class of exception, which is the child class of throwable. You know already, which is the child class of throwable. Okay. Now a runtime exception and its child classes are unchecked. That's why class cast exception is also unchecked exception. Compiler never going to check whether you are handling this exception or not. Sir, when we will get class cast exception, the name itself indicates, right? If you are facing any problem while performing typecasting, whenever we are while performing typecasting, if JVM face any problem, then we are going to get class cast exception. Okay, well, now let me go for a simple example, right? Sir, I have string s is equal to new string of Durga. String s is equal to new string of Durga is there. Now it is a string object, right? I want to typecast this string object to parent object. Are you getting object type? Can you please typecast this string object to object type? 100% pakka, this one is valid. Are you getting 100% pakka itself is valid? So because every child object happily you can typecast to parent type, no problem at all. Sir, acceptable. Okay, like. But now I have parent object, sir. Object O is equal to new object. Object O is equal to new object. It is the parent object, parent class object. Now I'm trying to typecast this parent type object to child type. String s is equal to string of O, sir. Are you getting? So whenever we are trying to typecast parent object to child type, immediately we are going to get class cast exception. Are you getting? Immediately we will get which exception? Class cast exception, right, sir? Now let me execute this code. Have a look once, sir. Sir, if I consider class test, I'm taking string s is equal to new string of Durga. String s is equal to new string of Durga. Now I'm trying to typecast object O is equal to object of s, sir. 100% fakka. It is the valid. It is the valid. Now let me print system.out.println of O. Happily it is going to print Durga, sir. Yes. Can you please observe that? Yes. What is the there is no compatible method at all. Yes. There is no runtime exception. Happily Durga is the answer we are going to get. Because child object you can typecast to parent type. No problem at all, sir. Now let me do reverse operation. Let me do the reverse operation. Object O is equal to new object. Object O is equal to new object. String s is equal to new string of string s is equal to string of O, sir. String s is equal to string of O. Okay. Now I'm trying to print s value. Have you observed, right? Here danger is there. O is what type, sir? Object type. O is what type? Object type. Object to string typecasting. Object to string typecasting we are doing. So it is not at all acceptable. Observe that. Happily the code compiles fine. But at runtime, what we are getting, sir? Here do you know exception in thread main java.lang class cast exception. Okay, java.lang object cannot be casted to java.lang string. Remember this one, sir. So object cannot be casted to java.lang string. Like that we are going to get error. Okay, well, now, sir, I have one small doubt. If I consider like this, object O is equal to object O is equal to new string of Durga. Object O is equal to new string of Durga. Do you know it is the string child object, string object, but reference we are using parent reference. Yes, parent reference can be used to hold child class object, no problem at all. Now I want to typecast this one string s is equal to string of O. Can you please tell, is it acceptable or not? Please specify, is it going to be acceptable or not? 100% pakka itself is acceptable. What is the reason? Why this one? What the reason for that is? Very simple sir. Even though it is the object type, but internally which object is there? String object only. That's why, so there is no problem with respect to the typecasting. If I print SOP of yes happily itself is valid, Durga is the output we are going to get. Okay, sir, itself is acceptable. Durga, it is the answer we are going to get, sir. Now let me execute this case also. Object O is equal to new string of Durga. New string of Durga I'm taking, sir. Object O is equal to new string of Durga. Sir, string S is equal to string of O, SOP of yes. Okay, now observe this a bit very carefully. The code compiles fine. Now let me run the code. What the answer we are going to get, sir? Durga, perfectly itself is acceptable. Okay, like so it's very clear for you people when we are going to get class cast exception while performing typecasting. If JVM faces any problem, we are going to get which exceptions are? Class cast exception. Clear? The next one, no class def found error. Regarding what is this one, sir? No class def found error. So do you know no class def found error? It is the no class def found error. No class def found error is the child class of linkage error. Regarding it is the child class of linkage error. This linkage error is the child class of error which is the child of throwable. Which is the child of throwable. Okay, so error and its child classes are unchecked. That's why no class def found error, whether we are handling or not, my compiler never going to worry at all. Okay, so compiler never going to test whether you are handling or not. Okay, like so next when we will get no class def found error. Have you remembered? Just observe the word no class def found error. Okay, sir, now whenever JVM required any dot class file, sir, JVM required some dot class file, that dot class file is not already available. Okay, JVM fails to identify the required dot class file, then we will get no class def found error. Remember that. Sir, what is the example? Just very simple, sir. I'm taking, I have one class is there, Rani is there, sir. Class Rani is there. Okay, like now, sir, I have class Raju is there, class Raju. Now public static void main string array args. Here my target is just I'm creating Rani R is equal to new Rani. I'm creating an object for Rani class. I'm creating an object for Rani class. Rani R is equal to new Rani. Like this I'm creating an object, sir. Sir, now the point is, take very special care about this one. What the point here is, to run this Raju class, compulsory Rani.class file also must be required, because internally you are creating an object. But whenever we are executing Java Raju, whenever we are executing Raju class, okay, if Rani.class file is not available, then definitely you are going to get no class def found error. Are you getting? No class def found error we are going to get, sir. Okay, a simple example to understand, right? Sir, I want to execute Raju class, but to execute Raju class, compulsory Rani also must be required, because you are creating an object for Rani. But where is the Rani class? If Rani.class file is not available at runtime, then JVM is going to run no class def found error. Is it clear for all of you, right? Now have a look once, sir. Let me execute this one. So here the point is, let me open, okay, Rani.java. Okay, it is there, sir. Very simple. Class Rani, class Rani, curly brace open and close. Sir, what is the name of this file? Rani.java. Similarly, let me open Raju.java file. Yes, class Raju, public static void main, Rani R is equal to new Rani like. Sir, now let me compile Raju class. Let me compile Raju class. Here I am taking, sir, Java C, Raju.java. Yes, I compile. Now, whenever we are trying to compile, so compulsory for this Raju.class file will be generated. For Rani also, Rani.class file will be generated. Now, let me cross check in my current working directory. Sir, D:Durga classes. Are you seeing these dot class files? Okay. Sir, Raju.class file is there, Rani.class file is there, sir. Okay, Raju and Rani.class files are there. Now I want to execute Raju, Java, Raju. Okay, dot class files are available. That's why you never going to face any problem. Happily the program executed. Suppose let me remove this Rani.class file. Have you observed, right? I want to remove this Rani.class file. Okay, let me remove this Rani.class. Yes, do you want to remove? Yes, sir. Can you please remove? Now, Rani.class file is not available. Only Raju.class file is available. Okay. Now, let me run the same program. Have you observed, right? Java, Raju. What will happen, sir? Exception in thread main. Java.lang. No class def found error. Rani. Internally caused by class not found exception. Okay, anyway. So, no class def found error. Rani we are going to get. So, if JVM required any dot class file, yet runtime, if the dot class file is not available, then we are going to get one, no class def found error. Is it clear for all of you, right? With example. Sir, now the next thing what I have to explain, exception in initializer error. Sixth one, sir, exception in initializer error. Sir, it's a very simple terminology. When we will get which is the parent class and so on. Sir, very simple. Exception in initializer error. Exception in initializer error. Okay. It is the child class of linkage error. It is the child class of linkage error. Java.lang linkage error. It is the child class of error. Which is the child class of throwable. Observe carefully, sir. So, linkage error or error and its child classes are unchecked. That's why obviously exception in initializer error is unchecked. Remember that. Okay. Next up, when we are going to get this one? For most of the people, this exception is the new exception. Are you getting? But very important for certification exam. Certification. What is the when we are going to get exception in initializer error? Okay, like very simple, sir. So while performing static variable initialization, and static blocks execution. Observe only two cases. While performing static variable initialization and static blocks execution, if JVM faces any problem, if any exception rises, then we are going to get exception in initializer error. Okay, sir, what it means? Can you explain with an example? Like you may ask. Very simple. Have a look once, sir. I am taking class test. Okay, here static int x. Sir, I want to perform initialization for this static variable. What I am trying to take, sir? 10 by 0 I am taking. Are you getting 10 by 0? While performing initialization for the static variable, we are going to get arithmetic exception. So because of this arithmetic exception, which exception got raised, sir? Exception in initializer error. Okay, of course from 1.7 version onward, main method is the compulsory to start our program execution. That's why let me write the main method also. If I run this code, do you know we are going to get exception in initializer error. Exception in initializer error caused by arithmetic exception. Java.lang dot arithmetic exception. This is the thing we are going to get, sir. I hope everyone in the position to understand. While initializing static variable and while executing static blocks, if any exception rises, then we are going to get what? Exception in initializer error. Sir, first example, one more example I will discuss. Don't worry, sir. First, let me execute this. Have a look once. Here I am taking just I want to take one static variable, static index is equal to 10. Static index is equal to 10. Assume. Sir, no exception. Happily the code compiles fine. Happily the code compiles fine. Happily the code runs fine. No problem at all. Sir, now static index is equal to 10 by 0. 10 by 0. Happily the code compiles fine. Okay. At runtime, have you observed, right? Exception in thread main java.lang.exception in initializer error caused by java.lang.arithmetic exception division by 0. Regarding java.lang.arithmetic exception division by 0. Sir, this is one example, sir, where you are going to get exception in initializer error. Okay, well. Sir, now let me go for one more example so that you will get much clarity. Here, see this a bit carefully, sir. I am taking class test. Sir, now public static void main method, public static void main method, string array access, sir. Public static void main string array access. Now my target is, sir, here observe carefully. Let me take one static block. Sir, I am taking static block. Now inside that string s is equal to null I am taking. String s is equal to null. System dot out dot println s dot length. Are you getting SOP of s dot length like this? Sir, now public static void main method string array access. Public static void main string array access. Okay, like this. Sir, have you observed? If you perform any operation on the null pointer exception we are going to get. Okay, but this null pointer exception rises while executing static block, while executing static variable assignment or static blocks. If you are getting any exception, then it will become exception in initializer error. Now observe that carefully. Exception in initializer error. Exception in initializer error caused by java.lang null pointer exception. This is the thing we are going to get, sir. Let me execute this one. Have a look once. Sir, here I am taking, instead of here static variable, just let me take static block. Inside static block, string s is equal to null I am taking. Now system dot out dot println s dot length, sir. S dot length, like this I am taking. Now have a look once. Happily the code compiles fine. What is the answer we are going to get, sir? Exception in thread main java.lang.exception in initializer error caused by null pointer exception. It is a very clear for you people, right? When you are going to get exception in initializer error while executing static variable assignments and static blocks, if we are getting any exception, then we will get exception in initializer error. Clear?